These nostalgic photos show the first wind turbines installed by Jess Jessen and his father 2 decades ago. Back then, the Jessens were wind power pioneers here near the shore in the far north of Germany. The technology has advanced tremendously since then.
Back then, people came up to us and said we were crazy. No one believed this could possibly work.
But it did work. Together with other residents of Galmsbuell in northern Germany, the Jessens now own 18 wind turbines. Wind-generated energy is no longer the domain of green-minded idealists. Thanks to state subsidies, it's become a profitable energy sector with record growth rates and healthy profits. Maintenance work 130 meters above the ground. The turbine operators say they could soon supply half of Schleswig-Holstein's energy needs. But when their turbines overproduce, they're cut off the grid. They say the large utility companies are not doing anything to tackle transmission problems.
It hurts when there's lots of wind and the turbines don't generate because the grid can't take it. The politicians fund coal power plants, which I can't understand. And they put the brakes on improvements to the transmission lines. Why don't they take the money they're sinking in coal-fueled power stations and use it for the grid?
The small and medium-sized wind operators are struggling for a share of the electricity market. But the machines that have made them so successful have angered some residents. Like the Senflebens. They say though the rotors are just a few hundred meters away, they're as noisy as if they were standing right there. When they bought this old farmhouse, there were only small turbines here. Today, the rotor noise has grown considerably. They're opposed to the planned extension of the wind park, but say the authorities won't listen to them.
We moved here for the peace and quiet because we love it, and it's been destroyed for us.
Do we have to have 126-meter rotors? Couldn't we have smaller ones, 100 meters high, without the blinking lights? These are questions that remain unheard.
The operators want to generate as much electricity as possible. They've convinced citizens in Galmsbuell to become partners in the project in a bid to gain acceptance for it. They argue that wind power provides jobs and financial security for the region.
You never get everyone behind you, but if a sizable majority, say 2/3, backs it, then the local council has to take a decision and decide to go along with it or not.
Jess Jessen hopes that more and more regions will get involved in wind power generation. But space on land is limited. Policymakers and utility companies are looking to offshore wind parks as a solution. Galmsbuell lies next to mud flats with plenty of room for giant turbines. Some operators believe this would help the German government realize its climate protection goals, but Jessen thinks offshore power generation is too expensive.
It's a courageous vision. And there's a reason why they've been talking about it for 6 or 7 years with still nothing in the water. In the North Sea, there's lots of technical questions that haven't been solved yet. How to install them in the North Sea, the whole offshore technology, how to anchor them, the cables, how to service them in the waves, all that hasn't been solved.
But Jessen knows the technical issues could be solved in a few years' time. After all, he knows from experience how a bold idea can become reality.